Oriental vegetable soup. This is one of our family's favorites. As you can tell, it's got a huge array of vegetables that we're going to put in this soup pot. This recipe by no means is a strict follow absolute must recipe. It's to teach you the principle of how to make a good tasting soup with an Oriental flair. Any vegetable in your fridge works. As you can see, we've just got all different kinds of vegetables cut up in bowls. I'll show you the rhyme and reason to those in just a moment. But the key to this soup is the seasonings and the herbs that we're going to use to make it taste Oriental. Let's take a look at these veggies. The vegetables in our soup consist of onion, potato, celery, cauliflower, the white ends of bok choy, the green ends of bok choy, mushroom, cabbage, carrot, zucchini, bean sprouts, broccoli, and frozen peas. The method for cooking them, we're going to add first our longest cooking vegetables or our hardest vegetables and end with those that only need to cook for a minute or two. Let's put our water in the pot. And to that, we're going to add the long cooking vegetables, onions, potatoes, celery, cauliflower, and the white ends of the bok choy. All of these are chopped fine. We're going to take our pot, we're going to put it on the stove and bring it to a boil. After these have cooked for about 3 or 4 minutes, then we're going to add to them the zucchini, the carrots, the cabbage, and the mushrooms. They'll be the next set to go in. And finally, when these are tender, we'll add for just a couple of minute quick steam our bean sprouts, our broccoli, our frozen peas, and our green ends of the bok choy. Then we'll season to taste with bouillon and some Mrs. Dash extra spicy with that cayenne pepper. That's what gives it that sharp Oriental flavor. Let's take our soup to the stove. Our soup has come to a boil. It's been boiling for a couple of minutes. You might notice some little tiny white dots in there. That's some quinoa that Jim has added. You can add a little bit of grain to this soup, a little rice, a little quinoa, a little millet. They all taste really nice, or it's just great, just plain vegetables. It's time to add our second kind of vegetable, which cook a little bit faster than the hard ones that we've already put in. So we're adding our cabbage, our carrots, and these are grated. Now, if these had been chopped, we would have put them in first because they would require a little more cooking time. Our zucchini, and some mushrooms. Now we're going to let all of these heat up and come to a boil. We're going to let them cook for 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll add the next layer of vegetables to cook. Let's get those stirred in and get this pot back to a boil. We're ready to add our bean sprouts and our broccoli. Our soup is almost done, so we're going to go ahead and season it now too. This broccoli will only take 2 to 3 minutes to cook. Then we're going to turn the soup off, and we're going to add the bok choy leaves and the frozen peas. But here's our bouillon. We're going to put that in, stir that in right now. And our Mrs. Dash Zesty. Just a nice shake of that all the way through to give it a nice hot cayenne flavor that makes this Oriental soup. We're going to go ahead and stir all this in. We're going to put the lid on it for just 1 minute, and then we'll add our 2 final ingredients. Our soup is done. We've poured it into our soup bowl, and now we're going to add our final 2 ingredients because they do not need to boil at all in this soup. The soup is hot enough that it will wilt the bok choy greens, and it will warm our frozen peas. So let's dump both these into our soup, and we'll give it a good stir. This soup is beautiful. These greens are going to stay nice and bright. The peas, the bok choy, and even the broccoli is still beautiful bright green. All the underlying vegetables are tender and juicy and delicious. The broth has marvelous flavor. And there you have it. An absolutely delicious Oriental vegetable soup. Heavy on the vegetables, light on the Oriental.